Well, hello, GMK. I guess you're part of the law firm. Will he participate and how?
What smells stupid in the air? Never fear, Zazuza is here. It's time to break up the atmosphere. Hang out in your echo chambers. I don't care if I will bring some logic there. What fantasies can we derive? Let's make up things for YouTube viewers is my drive, but my words often divide. Nothing ever makes any sense. Things I can't conceive, though they are based in reality. From my mind I must hide, it is my specialty. Well, trust me, but I deceive you. You know this, so you what I say must exist. Because the only thing left for you is to face reality. Reality. That this thing might real, so a fantasy I will make up just so I can deal. What can it be that changes all this? I know I will blame the government, but what is this? God or science has tossed in another wrench. Never fear, Zazuza is here. It's time to break up the atmosphere. Hang out in your echo chambers. I don't care, but I will bring some logic there. What fantasies can we derive? Let's make up things for YouTube viewers. It's my drive, but my words often divide. Nothing ever makes any sense. Things I can't conceive, though they are based in reality. From my mind I must hide, it is my specialty. You trust me, but I deceive you. You know this, but for you what I say must exist. Because the only thing left for you is to face reality. It terrifies me that this thing might real. So a fantasy I will make up just so I can deal. What can it be that changes all this? I know I will blame the government, but what is this? God or science has tossed in another wrench. I just can't accept reality. An explanation I must see. So God has been changed by the authority. This is crazy, yes I know. It is why I run a show. Through all the lies and the bullshit. Sometimes just a crazy nitwit. If I need to, I will go. Some think it's disrupting the show. I didn't pick the topic. You just don't like my logic. Never fear. Your flying penguin is here. This might hurt, for the truth is near. My tactic might be a little off, but I have a way to get my point across. Sometimes it is better to just give it a simple soft toss. In the dim glow of midnight screens, Zazuza cloud skepticism keen. Stares down the rabbit hole, eyes ablaze, where shadows whisper secrets twisted may. They've heard the whispers of lizard kings, flat earth maps, chemtrails hitting wings. But the mind is a fortress, walls of fact, built on broken logic, unyielding pact. Against the tides of misinformation, they stand a lighthouse on jagged shores of quicksand. They'll chalk the stars, debunk the moon's sway. The truth that was the compass guiding their way. Informed thought for echo chambers pride. They will block them's wrists, a sharp and a lock. Conspiracy theorists throw wild claims, yet our penguin gathers with evidence flames. Terrifies to be a lure of the fringe, where secret society stands shadows binge. But they'll sift through data, cross the noise, unmask illusions, expose the decoys. Basements where theorists huddle, they'll emerge a penguin ready to muddle the murky waters of half-baked tales. With reason's sword, they'll pierce the veils. They'll debate moon landings over coffee cups, while sipping skepticism from truth's chalice. For every YouTube guru peddling lies, they'll pull out research facts that rise. Never fear, the skeptic penguin rides forth with truth by his side. They'll tilt out windmills, charged with memes. Their lance logic isn't twist streets, and so our penguin tailors with cognitive dissonance. A want of reason against the time's insistence. For truth, my friend, isn't always feature grand. Such a quiet whisper in a noisy land.
Oops, forgot my mic. Hello, my name is Zerzu Cyclin, and welcome to my channel. How's everybody doing today? Well, the other day I went over on Raging Tomatoes. It's by the way, it's a members only stream, but if you want to watch it in its entirety, I went ahead and posted it there. Basically, what the show, it was a great show. I guess another lady was trying to call out Andrew Wilson as being a grifter. And as I said before, I mean, if you're going to try to call somebody out, you know, as a grifter, and you can't prove a dishonesty, such as, you know, saying you're a true crime channel when you're not, or something like that. If you can't find a dishonesty, then it's really hard to point somebody out as a grifter. Well, this lady clearly failed and then went on her live stream and admitted that she really didn't have anything for an argument, but she was, you know, wanting to do the argument anyway. And Sarah was talking about that, which was kind of interesting. I thought I liked it. I didn't have any problems with the show. And then the open panel opened up, and as I was watching, I kind of wanted to go up and talk about the subjects that were coming up, but at the same time, you know, I was just enjoying the show. However, somebody had mentioned something about people losing their jobs, you know, just for things that they said online. And it wasn't said that way. It was like said that people lose their jobs for things they said online. And that immediately reminded me of the principal who did, in fact, lose her job because of, you know, a post that was online which had her face, her name, and everything. They assumed her identity and made a post which then people started calling the school about and threatening her and threatening the school. I mean, I remember one of the quotes being, you need to get rid of her or there will be hell to pay. Things like that. And they started calling her family. And while not only calling her family, they would threaten her family. You know, they weren't just calling to say hi, of course. And this caused an atmosphere of danger for this teacher. Well, it turns out the entire thing was posted by somebody who, now they did put out an apology. I've seen the apology, but I don't even think I read the apology, because there's no apology for something like that. You put a family in jeopardy, and you put a woman's career in jeopardy, all for your political hate. I don't understand that at all, and I never will. There will never be any explanation that will clarify how you can do something like that and expect anybody to understand why you did it. No. But I went up there, and I guess this guy who's starting off with giving Ryan, right about the time I joined to get on the panel, he was starting off giving Ryan a hard time, and they had a little speed date, which is kind of embarrassing, but I'll play that. Primarily not embarrassing, because it actually, their conversation was fine. It was the subject matter. I don't see why this type of subject matter has to come up in debates. You know, there was a comedian once that was talking about debates, and he said, you know, he was in the middle of a debate, and he said, well, fuck you. And he knew then that he lost that debate. Why is it these people online seem to think that bringing up these vulgar topics is somehow winning in a debate? If you have to resort to saying vulgar things, you've lost, my friend. Any discussion.
And I have officially started a new goal. You're
And that was right about the time I clicked on. It was like, oh, they're going to have another hour. And this guy brought up okay, well, let's hop on.
your next hour has been purchased by Almighty Nate. So you better, I hope you all said thank you to Almighty Nate, but now you officially have a new goal started and you have 1 hour to complete it, or we go night-night. And backstage, we've got Zerzu's.
And for the lurkers, hello.
Millennialism.
Love you guys.
Hodger and Vinny. They're hanging out backstage, waiting to come on. It's up to you guys if you want anybody to. Switch.
I'll calm down. I actually need to go get a drink of water.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out.
I want to bring
Yeah,
up
just
something
bow
here.
out. And
Oh,
if
hold
you
on,
do
hold on,
spot-
hold on. Vapor, go ahead.
I was gonna head out anyway, go to bed. But just one thing before I go. Melissa Hortman thing. The guy quite literally stated it wasn't even political. His reasonings. Like that wasn't even a political thing. Like obviously,
Yeah,
a
it's
politician
personal,
got-
right?
Yeah, it was more personal. It was more personal.
Yeah, you guys are lying.
No,
Oh,
no,
we're
not
lying?
That,
You know what?
That actually, it was personal for him for what he was doing. Yes, it was personal.
Yeah, personal because he was anti-LGBTQ,
No,
anti-abortion.
No,
Yeah.
that's not the reason
Man,
why.
shut up.
Stop
Paper
being a
doesn't
fucking
feel good. Let him
retard.
finish
Stop calling
talking.
people fucking stupid. Holy shit.
Yeah.
He literally said it was personal. Shut the fuck up, bro. Just because some Democrat dies doesn't fucking mean it was political, you retard. You
He
literally
was
try
an
to make the
anti-
same
you guys are saying that
You
murder
tried to
Charlie
make
Kirk
the
was
same
political.
argument Charlie Kirk's murder, you fucking retard. So
Rashid.
shut up.
All
How are
Anyway.
you? Good to see
He
you.
doesn't even know what he
Go
Hello,
ahead.
Rashid.
Hold
He doesn't
on,
even
everyone
know
be
what he just
quiet.
did.
Hold on, be quiet, because Vapor's
Well, no,
voice
I'm
is
calling.
all
I'm
messed
calling.
up, so let's
I'm
get
calling
this-
him a hypocrite for trying to combat that so quickly, even though he's literally sucking the cock of some fucking left-wing lunatic. But that's besides the
Are
point.
you fucking kidding me? I've disavowed the
That's
guy who shot
funny.
Charlie Kirk every time he's
Don't
come up.
care.
ever.
You're retarded. Don't care. You're retarded.
Fuck you! Don't act like I'm sucking the cock of somebody who murdered
are.
someone.
Yes,
who
you
I
are.
completely
Yes, you
disavowed.
are.
You
using
You
Melissa
actually-
Hortman's
you
death
You're a
actually
fucking
are.
lying
to
bitch,
prove-
is what
You
you are.
actually are.
Tonight has been
You actually are.
only one
Lying
side.
fascist
It is. It's
bitch.
another thing. Oh, I'm a fascist.
Time.
Oh, I'm a fascist.
Yeah, that's why you're lying on me right now. Yeah,
No, I'm not lying on you because you're a fascist. I'm lying.
you literally
because
just
you're a
did. You
fucking
literally said I'm
retard.
sucking the dick of the guy who murdered Charlie Kirk. You're lying.
Well,
And this is one of the types of speed dates that happen over there. I don't know. I have a lot of fun over there, even though sometimes it can get a little bit out of hand.
You are. You're running defense. You have
How
to
so?
quarterbacking for the guy, sacking for him.
How?
What do you mean how? Oh,
Yeah, how? How am I doing that? What you just accused me of doing?
It was left.
Wait, so if I say saying that he's not necessarily a leftist
Everyone
is, say,
says you're
is
on the
sucking his
left,
dick?
but I do have
Saying I'm not convinced he's a leftist is sucking his dick? How is
Yes.
saying that I don't know his ideology
You're running
sucking a
defense
dick?
for your team. You're running defense for your team, bro. It's okay. It's okay. To
How
be
is saying
wrong.
I don't know his ideology either way, whether he's right or left? All I know is he dated a trans
Everyone-
person.
Everyone told you. The killer told you. Their fucking significant other told you.
He told us all he said was that Charlie Kirk was hateful.
And
He
unfortunately,
told you
true,
about
by
his
the way.
actions.
unfortunately, I was going up for Ryan, or I was going up to probably side with Ryan. Unfortunately, he got kicked right after this for the evening.
He told you about what he told his parents and his family. His family has told authorities about what his fucking beliefs were and how he was getting further radicalized towards the left. There's videos of the fucking killer in a freaking anti-fascist socialist fucking group at his college that he went to. But I don't know. He was a left wing.
Yeah, I don't know.
How do you have the
If that's,
information?
I mean, that would be new information to me. The anti-fascist.
No,
media
it
thing.
actually does exist. You can go look it up. The kid is
No, I
there.
won't.
He did go to that. Because it got worse right after he went after college. His ideology. He was
Yeah,
always.
well, wasn't he in college for literally 6 months? He was only there for one semester.
Yeah, but he was always getting further left. But once he joined that group, it like spiraled for him, and that's the whole reason why he moved out and everything. He was literally ostracized by his family because of his political beliefs, and so was his boyfriend. All the same thing happened to that person. They got further more politicized, and they couldn't even be with their family anymore. But like, no, they're not.
Where's your
left-
information about that? Where are you getting that information?
a family member of the girl of the dude's boyfriend, and I think another friend also stated that like, yeah, no, this is the person that he's with, and
So it sounds like a lot of stuff that we'll have to. This will be more cemented after the court case is done. But I'll take your word for it. Like it sounds like if everything you just said is true. I haven't heard all that stuff. If everything you just said is true, then I'll say he was probably on the left. Yeah.
I've never seen. I couldn't even believe you haven't seen it. I was like, "There's."
I mean, it must have all come out in the past couple days. Then this must be brand new stuff.
It came out. It came out like I think it was about a week ago when the first reports of that was coming out about the living situation that that led them to grooming together and stuff.
Wait, living
Was-
situation. Wait, living. Wait,
So-
wait, just
so they-
rooming together?
No, when they're rooming together, they started out as roommates
Oh.
at a place,
Yeah,
and then they formed a relationship afterwards. So like the I forget the boyfriend's name. while he was transitioning,
Lance Biggs, I believe, or Luna Biggs. I don't know which one they prefer.
Luna, whatever. Yeah, like they got ostracized from their family because they were getting more further politicized and left. And I'm pretty sure the same thing happened to Tyler, where he just, or at the very least, he felt he couldn't be around his family because they didn't, they're butting heads all the time. So he left as well when he went to college.
So wait, from what you just said, isn't it both possible that they're butting heads because of things that the MAGA family is doing and saying as well, right? Not necessarily because he's...
That is correct. And a lot of his college, it was only 6 months, and a lot of his college was remote. So the idea that he was radicalized when he left home from college is nonsense. Now, as far as I understand, from what I'm gathering, he was pretty much apolitical. He and a lot of the memes that they're trying to suggest that were on the bullets that were leftist memes, supposedly, or more video game memes than any type of left or right meme. I kind of think the guy had a personal problem with the things he said about transgender and nothing to do with politics. I mean, yes, politicians have tried to make our sexual orientations a political matter, but I don't really believe anybody's sexual orientation is a political matter.
Are MAGA, right?
I mean, anything's possible. But look, the point, the thing
is kind of reasonable. Like, isn't there a lot of conflict between people who are pro MAGA and people who are not MAGA?
It's more reasonable that it's not that any one side is doing anything to each other. It's more reasonable that like a younger, more bullish, we're talking like a teenager here, a teenager to like young adult. He's gonna be a little more standoffish and stubborn. He's probably gonna be like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna leave. Like, I don't fucking agree with these people. I'm just gonna fucking leave," and that would estrange him from his family. Like that's the most likely situation out of all of this. He got further.
I'm just sitting backstage hoping. Man, I wish this would freaking end.
His opinions and stuff to the point where he just left.
Well, what if his family's opinions are just things that like normal people think are disgusting? Like, I think that's true of a lot of MAGA opinions.
But more than likely,
I think that's more than likely.
More than likely, their opinions are probably boomer conservative at the best. His family's pretty.
Yeah, a lot of those are pretty gross. Yeah,
not
increasingly so. Yeah, they're.
And I've been having a lot of fun up on Sarah's panel. I think that I will probably end up paying for the $3 membership so that I can, get some of the perks. It gives me early access to panels and whatnot, things like that. I go up there enough. Why not?
Increasingly disgusting. Yeah.
Boomer conservative stuff isn't that. I hate having.
I mean, like pretty extreme homophobia. Especially if he has like trans person that he's dating. I feel like he probably has no idea how that would be received.
The trans stuff probably came like afterwards when he. Well, I don't know how long they've been in a relationship. I'm assuming it was very. But yeah, I just actually assumed you saw all this shit, and I was like, bro, he's running super defense when this stuff came out, like not even that long ago. How did he not know? But if you didn't actually know about this, then no.
Yeah, I mean, and to be clear, I'm still a little bit skeptical of all that. But if that is all true, if everything you said is supported,
by the way, so far I've tried to look up everything this man has said, and I cannot find any of the information whatsoever on anything at all. I mean, Ryan's doing pretty darn good. Hey, Tom Penguin Control, how you doing? Yeah, I mean, Ryan's doing very good, but this guy, he's not. I've really tried to look up the information he's giving, and it's all bullshit from what I can tell.
Confirmed without any context is the group that he was part of when he was briefly in college. He was part of
the Antifa thing, like an Antifa.
Yeah, he actually was in a far left group.
Far left group. I mean, look, if this is true, I've definitely never heard anything about this. But if it's true, then it's true, But so you would then acknowledge that I'm not like sucking this guy's.
And it's not really Ryan's responsibility to find his citation. It's his responsibility to bring up his citation. A good example of that is in today's interaction, I mentioned that Charlie Kirk equated shootings to that of car accidents, and this guy disputed. He wanted me to play the video. Well, it's a 2-hour video. I tried to direct him to my channel, and he didn't want it on my channel. And I know it's been removed from Turning Point USA, of course, because they're good Christians. And once they find out the bad things have been said by the man, they immediately remove them to hide all of that because they're good-hearted Christians, right? Anyway, but there are copies, full copies on other channels. So I gave him a full copy from a different channel so that it's not the full copy that's on my channel. You know, I don't know. I miss them. Wish they'd show up. Dr. Nimrod hasn't been feeling well from what I can tell.
Over, right?
No, if you didn't know about it, then yeah, you're not. But if you did know about it, there's no other way I could interpret it. But you are like running mad defense if you didn't know about it.
Okay, I just googled it. I haven't found anything yet, but you know, like maybe it's being suppressed or something in the algorithm. I just
hold on, like let me see if I get it.
Oh yeah, this Lost Wisdom guy,
back.
man, I gotta tell you about
Good
this
job.
Lost Wisdom guy. Every time he's the one that was trying to say that he was non-empathetical while he's basically was all peepees. And he's going to go into some nuts ball nonsense about, I guess he believes that the government is using mind control to make people homeless. They're using Raytheon so that they can make people homeless to somehow benefit the big corporation. They're all like corporate slaves. How does making somebody homeless equate to a benefit to corporation? What do you think? Making them a work slave would probably be the more logical use of mind control?
Guys,
So this is
I'm
what
pretty sure you're
pretty sure that I'm
repeating
like
things
booted
that
for
have
the
been
night based
debunked.
on comedy.
A picture of him in that. Well, I'm pretty sure that's been debunked. Also,
Yeah.
when he went to college, it was only for 6 months, and he went remote. So I'm not sure how you can get
yeah, because
radicalized. If you're not
nobody
even
can
on
be
the campus.
radicalized in 6 months. It's impossible.
So, Ryan,
But if
we
you're not
have-
even at
So
the
you
college,
can't go,
right?
So you can't
Hang on,
be
guys.
part of a
Sarah's talking.
group.
Hold on. Ryan, there was quite some commotion in the chat. Comedy Debate came in with 1, 2, 3, 4.
They really don't like Ryan. Now,
5.
let me point out something on this. They pay $100 to kick him. Somebody pays $100 to keep him. And then somebody else pays $100 to kick him again. He's really the only person that's in hardcore dissent. I mean, KO Dave, you know, he dissents a little bit, but he's really the only person in hardcore dissent. Why would you not want that person to be there to talk, to have the conversation?
Damn.
6, 7,
And he gets kicked all the time.
8. And then that was negated initially by Smokey Guru to say keep Ryan.
Well, we've been using 6G recently.
Comedy established dominance very clearly with the donos. So, Ryan, you are more than welcome to take your time and give your final exit speech.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I look, I enjoyed that last conversation. Although I think that, like Animated said, it sounds like that information is unverified. And again, based on a quick Google search, it seems I didn't find anything about it. But if that does turn out to be true, then I'll eat crow on that. Like it could be the case that he's a radical leftist. I'm not saying he's not, right? I'm not saying anything about his ideology necessarily. But what I was saying is that, as far as I understood, there was not evidence that he was really deep down the like the socialist, communist, or whatever. It seems like it was probably personal, right? It seems like it was probably personal because he did have this trans partner, and he believed that violence was one way to handle that, which I find disgusting, and frankly put his trans partner in way more danger than they were before he did the shooting. I think it was absolutely selfish.
Correct on that. So think about it. Right now there's already tension on trans people, and since he did this act, it raises the likelihood of violence towards that group to increase. And I don't think that was, if anything, he caused more harm to the cause he was trying to fight for.
Stupid thing for him to do, and if he does turn out to be a leftist, then I would be even more embarrassed that someone who shares a lot of my ideological worldview would do something so stupid as to put the rest of us at risk for his own selfish crap. So yeah, that's what I'll say on that. But otherwise, I mean, I enjoyed the conversation tonight. Even though I like screaming at you guys, listen, I do come here in good faith. I know, believe it or not, I really do. I come here, I concede a lot of stuff. I learn a lot of stuff when I'm having these conversations, but I also feel like a lot of times I'm being gaslit, and I think that I'm going to come back next time. So just
and Nubsian wanted me to.
He does. He comes back over and over again.
Ryan just called the Black Steve-O a fascist because he was mad at him. A great example of how he and others just use it as a pejorative. That's it.
Damn, that's I wasn't just using it now because of my fucking voice. That's fucking funny.
And if you ask me, the pays,
that's fucking hilarious.
I even mentioned it to Ryan that I bet you every time they pay to kick you off the channel, it feels like an absolute victory. And it is. Think about it. If they're paying to silence you, that's so freaking pathetic. It's a win. It's an instant win.
I wasn't calling it fascist because I was mad at you. I was calling it fascist repeatedly throughout the panel because of a lot of things you were saying. But that's
no, you're retarded if you think I'm a fascist.
Right wing is not.
Hey, Dakota, we were just talking about you.
Fascist. Right wing believes.
Must have had your ears ringing.
Look at
fascistic regimes.
Fascism is a right-wing ultranationalist ideology.
No, Brad, most fascist
they were
regimes that
national
existed were more
socialism is a left-wing ideal.
Okay. So we'll get back to the conversation.
Good timing too. The penguin just showed
Ryan, up. For your time this evening, it looks like maybe the earlier streams they don't boot you quite as much or quite as quickly. Because we were actually able to keep you on for quite some time tonight, and I'm appreciative of that, especially for your birthday stream.
Yeah.
Happy birthday!
And I'll be for what's worth, I'll be streaming into the evening. So if anyone wants to come hang out, don't leave Sarah's panel. You can keep it on and come say hi in my chat. But I appreciate you all. I'll talk to you.
It's his birthday too. Happy birthday, Ryan!
Oh. And if you're still rolling when we close out, I'll happily.
Oh yeah, and if she could get him, if she could get somebody to pay him back on, that's even a better way.
Bill posted the thing, Grok link that has the web pages and stuff too, for where he got sources talking about the group that he did, that he was with when he was briefly at his college. Like it was a volunteer, it was apprenticeship with it.
All right, later, guys.
Later.
Goodbye, Ryan. Have a wonderful evening.
Happy birthday.
Hello, Sarah. Oops, sorry.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna head out too. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Vapor. Did you have any final thoughts or anything?
It should be okay. That should be okay by the end of the week at the latest. Absolute latest. All right, see you guys.
See you well soon, Mr. Vapor. Hope you feel better.
Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, while we're watching this, let's see who's the most rational out of the whole bunch. Who could actually sit there and not spurg the heck out? I'm watching all. You'll notice that when I'm not talking, I'm silent. When I'm talking, I speak. They seem to not be able to do this all night. What made me want to click the link is Bandit's initial statements about people losing their jobs. I try my hardest not to cut anybody off their jobs and whatnot for things they're saying, and I believe so first I should mention that as far as Andrew Wilson and being a grifter, you can not like Andrew Wilson, and you can think he says some horrible things or whatnot. He can't open a yeah. Tom's been really missing you, Cody. Anyway, but it's really hard to call him a grifter without coming with solid evidence. And I'm gonna get back to the Bandit thing in a second after I take a little detour. You were asking about political positions and whatnot, and I don't really feel like I fit center, left, or right, or any of them. I kind of fit along a I guess more of a contrarian view in a way. And if I don't like you, so as far as Bandit, when he came in talking about random people getting fired, there was a teacher in Elkhorn, if I don't like your policies, a principal in Elkhorn, which was terminated for a post that she made about Charlie Kirk, which was very horrible. I mean, it was when I first saw the post, I was like, oh my Lord. And it turned out to be not her post. She didn't post it. Somebody else posted it, spoofing as her. And now she recently got her job back, which is, I think, good. But I think that's a scary road if we start traveling down silencing people for their speech without ever looking into what their true speech was.
I agree, but can I just say one more thing, and I just as a rebuttal? Town near me, near Easton, Pennsylvania, 2 teachers got fired for posts because the school.
I
at
dig
the time
Animated
had a school
Effigy. He
shooting,
makes
and
good
they were
arguments.
saying attempted school shooting that year, and they said it's okay for Charlie to get shot. Now that's grossly terrible for a teacher to say. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm, as a judgment clause, you got to look at it as a parent. Okay. If there was a potential school shooting and you're saying as a teacher, it's okay for this person to get shot, when it's your job as a teacher to de-escalate. That is your job. That's
right.
So
right, but in this scenario, the teacher didn't do it, and what ended up happening was a lot of parents called the school threatening her. They called her home because her phone number ended up being linked to somehow, and threatening her. What's that?
There's a website right now with 50,000 people on it that they're using the dark web. Anybody that posts a TikTok, your information's already on the dark web. So just to let you know,
is this guy even hearing me tell him? Wait, is this guy even hearing me tell him it's not a teacher that actually said the things that got her fired? It was a principal that didn't say the things, but he seems to be. I don't know.
Dark web, it doesn't. He actually showed you how you can do it, and there's a website right now that has 50,000 people that posted stuff, and they're going after their jobs now. Cancel culture, I didn't agree when the left was started in 2012. Like this is.
Did anybody hear him address the topic? What I said about the teacher that was terminated, the principal that was terminated and had to fight for her job back when she didn't say what was claimed? Or does he keep going on about people that did say what they were claimed to have said?
This is the common thing. Once you start something stupid like cancel culture, it's eventually going to eat their own. Did it take a while? Yes. But this whole thing started in, 2012, 2007 when we started doing cancel culture?
So, you get that cancel culture is way older than that, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying when they were starting to cost people's jobs. Like
50s,
more on the normie
60s,
basis.
but I picked a more recent date.
I'm a famous person. I say something stupid, I get canceled. I'm saying like normal people getting canceled for speech. It's a relatively new thing within the last 20, we'll just say 20 years, just make a round number. It's not that old. It's in our lifetime. Everybody on this panel, I'm assuming. So
I guess if you're going to put a time on it, would be Imus would probably be the first I remember that was true.
And that's
let me explain why I mentioned Imus. Imus in the morning, he had a host on. Now, a lot of people have been told this story wrong. They're told that he just was on his radio show and said a horrible thing about nappy-headed hoes. What had happened, if you go back and you look for that exact event, what had happened is he had somebody on his show that made an extremely racist remark. And he was trying to kind of cover that up by trying to make a more comical, but it ended up being just as racist. So it was one of those where he got canceled for not just his actions, but somebody else on the show, and everything was blamed on him because of his attempt to soften up what was just said. And hello, Sue.
2005.
Do I support Imus? No, he was he was a Republican shock jock. He was probably one of the starts of most of this nonsense. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there was before that, but as far as Imus was very, very clear, blatant.
Yes.
You know.
But see the ratcheting of stuff though? Like once you create something of cancel culture, you can't control it anymore. It's on the ether now. It's a loaded gun pointed at both sides, saying, just give me the opportunity and I'm going to weaponize it. That's basically what we are right now. If you say something stupid, the left's going to kill you. Say something stupid, the right's going to kill you. Like, this is what I mean by we need to de-escalate
Sirloin,
stuff.
good to see you. Good to see you.
Everybody has this metaphorical pew pointed at their face and say, if I can't say something now because I can get canceled. Hence why it took like a 3-month sabbatical from being on, because I could see this affecting my job. So I decided I'm going to take a step back and contemplate and figure out what's going on, why everything's getting worse and worse. The thing is, oh, go ahead.
In general, nonsensical political rhetoric is very dangerous, I believe, because, as you said, it can be used by either side. And what I mean by like nonsensical political rhetoric is things that you just say because it hurts the other side or it digs in the rib of the bad guy. I think that ends up being, if you have that, I know I'm wrong, but I'm still saying it. And I'm not saying you are, but there is an atmosphere of that. This is about the quietest they are the entire night. I think they're trying to figure out where this conversation is going. Then you end up leaving it open. Now the dude with the red knots on the bottom right next to me. No, I don't think he can figure out the room if you paid him. Into any side using that against, of course, any side in a complete, you know what I mean? And I think that type of feeling in our political atmosphere should be frowned upon entirely.
Like Sarah, I'm just using this example. You can do this on your debates. Like, your debates get very heated. It's great to see both sides, and I appreciate that. But, like, even if you said at the end, I'm mandating you guys to say something good about each other when they leave, just something like that could de-escalate the whole situation. Because everything, and this is not a critique, I'm just giving an idea out there. Any way we can de-escalate conversation, because I don't see, like, if this keeps going, free speech might.
Why do we shouldn't have to we shouldn't
I understand
have to de-escalate conversation. We should still be allowed to be assholes to each other. We can be assholes to each other.
I agree.
I don't find any issue in that. I'm just saying the idea of even having the conversation. I think having the conversation alone stands on its own as something valuable because we allow for that. I don't give a shit if they like each other. I don't give a shit if they think each other is like the turd on the bottom of each other's shoes. That doesn't bother me one bit. I think that's okay. There's no amount of de-escalation needed for that. Now, if they're like threatening violence, that's totally something different. But
because is the goal to change minds or is it to have the debate? Because if I'm trying to change minds, wouldn't
you can change minds with you can still change minds with conversation, whether you're heated or not. You don't have to be nice to everyone, and it's not necessarily you're trying to change that person's mind. It's the audience that sees it.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree 100% with what you're saying. I'm at a point where I saw someone literally get pewed in front of their kids. And I put myself in his shoes.
Now I thought that this guy was meaning that he actually saw somebody have that happen. And it took me a minute to realize he was talking about Charlie Kirk. We all saw that. It's not the same emotional effect as actually sitting there and watching that. Now, those people that were in the crowd, they have the feeling that you're having. And somebody posted in the chat in Sarah's Discord that there should be a debate about both sides are terminal victims. And though I agree, I don't think anybody is going to have a debate and agree that their side is a victim. But you did not personally see this. You have the same emotional effect as everybody else who watched it. Except for, let me correct that, the people who were there at the event who actually watched what you're claiming, who actually watched what you are assuming as your grief, those people feel that grief.
Never want to see that again. Now, in an ideal world, I'm idealistic right here, but I still feel like it's somewhat responsibility on me to at least a little bit of a level.
Oh, she does that. She does that with her chill streams.
Have the conversation, because I'm seeing the point where, like I said, with kids now, it's even worse. Like it's so siloed now. Like people are getting
and I forgot to push the live
and
button.
for
It
the
could have been
stupidest little crap because
broadcast.
they're just they're like
The portion
ticking
of
time
my
bombs.
portion over here.
And without if they see the adults not having a conversation, the kids are not. The kids are just going to mimic us.
Let me come back to that thought. Hold on. Jess Gerald says, can you guys even agree on what a fascist is, or is it just anyone who disagrees with you on anything politically? Yeah, I think typically it's just if somebody disagrees.
But at
now,
least you
it's
get to watch
just
my
kind of like
section.
the coined
You know,
term to
that's
just say
good.
you're fascist. Martin says, bye, Ryan. Quit yapping. Ben sends $10 just because. I like those. I really like those. And Comedy Debate Analysis says, can you ask two of the
It was a
leftists
really
to
good
quick
show.
break?
It was a
Doesn't
lot of
matter
fun
which
going
two.
up
I'm on a
there.
panel tonight. Who is a lefty?
I
on the
wasn't
panel?
planning on it. It was hours in.
I'm not a leftist, but I'm on the left.
It was
Not
just
me
that
and
comment
Kay.
about the
Lefty, that's
Is
one
it- is it
down.
Far right.
people losing their
I
job.
was gonna say the only two I could think of were K and Effigy, but I was like, I don't even really know about K.
An effigy.
Comedy.
Kay cheers for our
I'm a
lefty-sided
leftist.
friends. Who? Oh, all right. Lost
Your
William,
hair is a
take a
leftist.
little break in the back. We got Vinny up too. All right.
So I
Oh
was
God,
just
this
gonna
guy
say one thing
Vinny.
here
Oh my
before
God.
kind of going sideways with this. Bennett, I hear what you're saying.
Okay, so there's when you come in to have a discussion in a debate forum, the idea is not to so let's say that I say, you know, the chocolate is kind of a bit of a nutty, woody, sweet, earthy flavor. Do you believe me? You can't expect somebody to then repeat everything you said. Oh yeah, chocolate's a nutty, earthy, woody flavor, whatever I just said, which is absolute BS. I just made it up. But you can't, the idea isn't to come and force the opposition to repeat the words that you just said. That's not how this works. And this guy, Vinny, he drives me nuts all night long. He also end up driving everybody else nuts because apparently they're surprised he didn't get kicked off.
Situation, but one of the biggest things is people need to take ownership of their tactics, and a lot of the times, and I'm just going to point it out in the conversations, even Trippy, I'm going to call Trippy out on the rug on this one, is in the entire time between him and Effigy, neither one were listening to respond actually to the what
and I'm going to have to let this run for a little bit because
what was being there,
we've got quite a way and we're already 43 minutes in.
Fighting back and forth over each other constantly. They weren't trying to have a dialogue. They were just trying to one up. And then when Ryan stepped in, Trippy went off and he said the one word that we didn't want him to
I'm
say.
sorry.
I'm going to still
gone
keep calling
now.
you. Yes, but it is that situation. And so that's what happens is people are going to continue to do that because right now they're not taking ownership of the way they are acting. They're just getting mad and they're just feeling justified in saying what they want to say, even in those debates or just on the normal situations. Now, yeah, kids, I'm just going to say right now, when I was a kid, yeah, it didn't matter. Drop of the hat, one thing that got said, and it was violence. I mean, it was, yeah, just going to say it. There was violence regardless at the point. It's just now they're taking the context of being more political because it's being taken into their world because the teachers are also bringing it into the world. Not just saying left, I'm saying right side too. They're bringing it in there and they're not allowing them to have that ability to just be those kids. So it's not our fault in the situation on these panels. It's also other people's. It is their ownership that they're doing it in the wrong context.
That's tone policing, though.
Well,
That's
no,
all
I'm not
that
saying-
is. Like, you're not being nice enough to listen
Yeah.
for the conversation and to have the conversation, and that's not the typical debater. That's not their goal in essence. It is their goal to listen only to respond, because you're listening to buzzwords, keywords, target words, very specific ideologies, lines of logic, so on and so forth. And it is your goal to always stay on the offense, not defense. Jess Gerald says, if we can't agree on what fascism is, can we go the rest of the night without mentioning it? I'd be okay with that.
I'm agreeing with that.
We've already determined, according to Ryan, my panels are fascist. So I think we're just going to own it, honestly.
Sarah, did you get my video? Did you see is the reason you said that because you saw the video that I?
No, I didn't look at it. I'm just going based off of the beginning of our conversation at the beginning of the night. Do
you mind if I just say something? You remember what Ryan said when he said fascism it depends on the power structure. So what he means is they've got a whole different worldview. And when they get taught the education, their whole worldview is different from the right. A whole different. They've got, I think, was bourgeois and the proletariat. So they've got a whole different worldview. That's why they disagree fundamentally.
Or you just make up what the entire left believes because you fucking hear it from fellow right wingers, and you don't actually just ask us what we believe.
But isn't that a mirror?
What you believe?
Well, some guy asked us to define fascism. Can you define it?
He's going to put that picture back up, isn't he?
They can't.
Here comes the picture.
It's a right-wing ultra-nationalistic ideology.
No,
don't use right-wing. Don't use
anti-liberal ideology.
Define what it is.
Okay. Instead of defining it, what is it to you, Mr. Effigy?
Well, that's not a definition.
Where did it touch you?
No, I'd like to know what it is to him. Like,
what is fascism to me?
To him. What is it?
Anti-liberal, anti-democratic, ultra-nationalist.
So
no. Define what it is. Don't use an ist word. Define what it actually is.
It's a totalitarian ideology.
No. You need to define what. If you want to call someone a fascist, what particular characteristics do they have?
I've just been doing that. How was I not doing that?
Oh, yeah, a fascist is a fascist. Yeah, it's circular logic. I want you to define what is it. Do they not accept other groups? Or do they have absolute power in government? What is a fascist?
He just said totalitarian, man. That's what absolute power
Right, authoritarian, totalitarian. Totalitarian even goes beyond authoritarian. And
can you explain
he's giving good
totalitarianism?
definitions. You just keep asking the same question.
Except you keep getting the same answer. So what's a totalitarian?
Didn't we?
You gave like 4 different answers.
I smell a speed date.
Yeah. So I wanted to say, Sarah, that payment tonight that I did was a down payment on the asshole tax for bailing on you 3 months ago. I apologize for that.
Oh, it's okay.
Well, no, it's not okay because I screwed you over, and it's just a down payment because I'm sorry about that.
Well, if that's how you feel, that's okay. But people, I know that you left the internet for a while, and that happens. And that's not. I always like to tell people that you are the priority. So if you're going through things or have personal life issues that come afloat during a time when you're scheduled to come on for a show, life gets in the way. But life is your priority, not YouTube. And I wholeheartedly believe that. I've worked under shorter time frames to put last minute things together because people had to bail due to life things, or even some just bailing just to bail. I don't take it personal. It's not a big deal. So don't worry about it. But how are you doing, Anson? Are you doing better?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. And I'm excited about the conversation about fascism because I have a definition for it that I think Vinny will appreciate. So fascism is a reactionary socialist movement that sprang up in the early part
What's
of the 20th
sad about it is
century
the definition doesn't help them.
Sort of socialism that became popular in Europe.
You're still not describing it.
He is clear. Both of them have clearly described it.
I am describing it. It's a reactionary socialist movement.
Explain what that is.
What about my definition? I just put it in the chat for everybody to see.
And now 3 people have defined it.
Yeah. Basically, I think what Vinny's saying here is if you can't explain an idea in like terms that a 3rd grader can understand, then there's no really, you really shouldn't be trying to explain
but see, this is exactly what the problem is. You're saying, well, a fascist is another ist word, or a fascist is another. You're using a description of characteristics to describe another description of characteristics. What are the characteristics? Is it suppression of speech? Is it is it dissent on all ideas? Is it not accepting certain groups? What is a fascist?
I kind of believe you are right on that, in a sense that fascism, in my view, would be a conglomerate of the many definitions, such as a authoritarian government control, reaching too much into our lives.
How much you want to bet he interrupts me?
Manipulate minute things that don't really affect the government in general, trying to prevent any type of entry into our government that dissents upon the idea. Hold on, you asked for a definition. That dissents upon the ideas of the government itself, and if there is any dissent of the government itself, it should be silenced at all costs, if including imprisonment and removal from the public view, such as Jimmy Kimmel, which I don't really say, because he did start off by denouncing the words initially. I don't really say anything that he said in that statement other than MAGA bad was anything wrong.
So Vinny, I think I understand
wrong at all.
Vinny, I think I understand what you're saying. I'm gonna break this down so that you can understand, so I'm not using ism words and not using big word descriptors, right? So fascism is like a 3rd way type of socialism, like the one we have in the United States right now, where there's market control of the economy. There's a market economy, but
notice there was no dissent to what I said.
A powerful central government, right? There's suppression of individual liberty. There's like in the United States, United States now. There's nationalism and militarism, right? There we have military all over the globe. Hundreds of military bases all over the globe. That's an aspect of fascism, and a rejection of class struggle. It's kind of like a repudiation of Marxism, right? Marx was all about like class struggle ideology and dialectical materialism. It's a repudiation of that particular brand of socialism. And
wouldn't that be a repudiation of socialism in totality?
No.
If it's sticking with private ownership and not collective public ownership,
it's just a rejection of Marxism.
If it's allowing capitalism and not undoing it.
That's why I said it's a 3rd way socialism. It's the kind we
No, that's not socialism at all. Once you do that, my man, that's why it's not socialism.
Look, it's all right. Look, Mustache Man was a socialist. It's fine. Just deal with it. And authoritarian governance, right? So there was a lot of centralized control over everything that everybody did, and historically, that's why I referenced like the Eastern European, the European model. It was a reactionary movement against the Bolshevik brand, the Soviet brand of communism, because they were taking over Europe in the early part of the 20th century. That's why I called it a reactionary movement.
Can I give my definition real quick, because everybody's given theirs? All right, I'm just going to read.
Oh, Bandit, you got one? Okay.
Yep.
Man, I oiled my mic last night because it was making squeaking noises, and now it keeps freaking running away from me. It's driving me nuts. I'll have to now tighten it up.
That's a good one.
I can probably
the authoritarian rules. So basically, your government decides what everybody does.
Playing it today, no, because I'm already going to be on for this. Is going to be a long stream, so yeah, I'll have to pick a different time to maybe look at that.
And they get to dictate everything, hence dictator. Yeah,
it's a
but there's a difference though. Fascism means you must. These are the set of morals you must follow, whether you like it or not. Whereas nationalist is everybody has the same values. So there's a difference between nationalism and socialism. Nationalism, everybody is on the same page. Fascism means the people at the top saying this is what you must follow. We don't care what you think.
No, there's
a bit of a difference between nationalism and fascism.
Fascism is top down. Nationalism is bottom up.
Yes.
So I believe as an individual.
Yeah, I like that one.
If I believe an individual that I have pride in my country, that's nationalism. If the government is telling me that you need to believe in a strong state and we have shared values and you must adhere to these rules, that's fascism.
No, what you just described was patriotism first. Pride in your country is just patriotism.
Explain the difference between patriotism and nationalism.
And one of the reasons I love going up on this channel is it gives me access to these conversations that really are they're somewhat needed, and I like to dive into the crazy. So let's go.
Yes, is your country over others to their detriment. Your country wins as long as they lose. That's it. Patriotism is just pride and the generic good of what you think about your country. Nationalism is the means to benefit your country to the detriment of others.
Can nationalists be prideful?
Country's view of
I would say definitely they kind of have to be.
So I'd say they're synonymous with each other, not
not at all. No one thinks patriotism and nationalism are the same thing, except
they shouldn't. Yeah, you're right.
But people who are proud of their values.
No.
You can be proud of your values and hate your nation, right? From my perspective, as a heritage American, I'm disgusted with my nation. I consider.
So you're not a nationalist, then?
I do consider myself to be a nationalist because I am disgusted with my nation.
So you're not a nationalist?
No, I am a nationalist because I'm disgusted with my nation.
But a nationalist means that everybody's got the same values. If you've got different values, how are you a national? How is it? I'm
a heritage American. My family founded this country.
The definition of nationalist is a person who strongly identifies with their own nation and vigorously supports its interests, especially to the exclusion or detriment of the interests of other nations.
And then if the government's got different interests from yourself?
That's the difference. Nationalism cares about, real quick, nationalism is when it's not my government and I don't like that person's government, I'm going to call them I'm going to call them nationalist. But if it's my government and I like my government, that's patriotism. That's the difference. It's the context of how you use the word. So if I don't like someone's viewpoint, I'm going to call it nationalism. If I like their viewpoint, I'm going to call it patriotism.
That's wrong. That's incorrect.
But it's how it's applied. It's how it's applied, though.
No, you're just wrong.
Now, that is a good question. Is what is patriotism?
Patriotism is literally pride in one's country. That's basically it.
Well, pride in your brethren.
People,
I don't know necessarily about the country and each of us, and us, not necessarily the government body.
Can people a part of a football team be patriotic?
Yes. Yeah, because they're in pride of their team.
Yeah, it's basically a kind of mental delusion or self-deception, right? You didn't actually build your country, so in order to have pride in it, you have to have pride in something that you didn't have a stake in actually creating yourself. So it's actually degenerate. Patriotism's degenerate.
A job that
so nothing that you start, if you haven't started it, you can't be proud of it.
Exactly. Yeah. If you didn't build it, what do you do?
I'm not following this argument.
Else built something. You got pride in something somebody else did.
I don't know, because I'd be proud of a house. Now that I don't know if is a good argument, because I'd be proud of a house.
Your parents, or you can't be proud of your brother or your sister for doing a good job for something.
Well, no, that's different, right? That's familial relations, and pride has multiple definitions, right? So you're conflating one version of what pride means.
Amen,
another
GMK.
version of what pride means. I'm talking about degenerate, foolish pride, selfish pride, right?
But pride doesn't have to be selfish. Pride can be you're proud of someone doing a good job, that your country's doing a good job. But anyway, nationalism, it's a descriptive word. It means if everybody's got the same values and everybody's got the same idea, that's nationalism. If it starts to change, then it stops being nationalistic. It's just a descriptive word.
Yeah, but implied is the imposition of those shared things. We will be this. Therefore, and so someone who is a nationalist, say like, if someone's a Christian nationalist, they'll be like, no, this nation, you're not truly a citizen unless you're a Christian, and they're a Christian nationalist, and they're
and then from there goes the outcast. And what do you do with the outcast? And that is an argument that people like Andrew Wilson don't necessarily like to have. That what happens to the people that are outside of that Christian narrative? Let's say that you've made your Christian nation and everybody is Christian. and then this one person decides not to be. What happens to that person?
For the people who don't follow in that, they want to institute a nationalist sense of you have to be considered, right? That's what it means by the exclusion of others. Once you define your nationalism, the people who aren't in that bubble get excluded.
Yeah,
that's the whole point of it.
They need to go somewhere else. That's right.
If that's the case,
Jess Gerald says, "Thanks for breaking this down, guys. This is the dialogue that we need." And I agree. It's so nice that we're actually trying to define the term. And
like I said, it is a good dialogue, but the way this guy Vinny's bringing it up, he's not having a conversation. He's asking aggressive questions for no reason whatsoever. He's kind of following that Andrew Wilson playbook. Define this, define that. What does that mean?
Lord says, "What is the difference between nationalism
I haven't heard him give any opinions of his.
and patriotism, genoism,
Jingoism.
See, this is the biggest problem. It's too much.
Chauvinism. Also, I want to shout out Effigy for being a great dude. Protect him for $5, no problem. You got a $5 credit.
Thanks, Evan.
So yeah, I think that I've noticed. Yeah, she raises a poll during this, and it shows that her channel is 70% right Republican, and I can't remember all the rest. But I think that everybody there is aware it's a mostly Republican channel, which is fine, but you should also allow the other views, such as the liberals and the independents, and like in my case, the contrarian view. Just online, not necessarily, and it's somewhat in the sphere, but also in I like Discord. No, I don't like to say that, people of foreign nations shouldn't get involved in our conversations, but I do kind of find it weird that a lot of British people focus primarily on American politics. And like they go out to these panels and they almost like this Vinny guy. He sounds like he's talking like he lives here in America and things like that. You get what I'm saying? And I just like, man, do you see a bunch of Americans joining British channels to really talk about British politics? I mean, YouTubers, not necessarily. I mean, not saying that they can't. It's just so a good example would be Creaky Blinder. Great show. I love Creaky Blinder. He started doing sovereign citizens. He also does British sovereign citizens and whatnot, not just American. That's what I'm talking about. That's good interaction. The interaction of we're pretending like we don't have any problems at home, that I don't like. Not too happy with that type of interaction. Land and whatnot. There's a high level of if you don't fit along my politics and whenever we take complete control, whatever side it be, then there will be some sort of calling, and this has been suggested many times, and I think that is a horrible way to go about talking on politics.
I'm gonna step away.
I think
for just
that's
a second.
I think that's a idea
pardon me
of
for just a second.
fascism.
Effigy,
Sorry, ma'am.
Effigy, will you want to try another time and see if
Yeah, I
can
try not to
redeem
interrupt
yourself?
people.
Oh man, I don't know. I've already failed once.
You got this. Handle the panel. I think this is a calmer panel. You'll be fine. One at a time, guys. I'm just stepping away from it. I'm going to go grab a bit of food. I haven't eaten yet today.
Sarah,
like, at all.
that guy, way better than Spicoli. Right down there with the tomato bird.
I'll be back.
Oh yeah, it's the raging penguin tomato. I made
Hell
it for.
yeah.
I don't like Spicoli either. Great show.
And I only say that because like both of you guys kind of sound like stoners, but he's got more of a fighting, vindictive, extreme east side, and you don't seem to have that. How do you say it? Zerzuz?
Zerzuz Lakeland.
Zerzuz.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Mexican?
Nobody can say it right.
Okay, cool.
Well,
Mexican.
No name has ever had that many Z sounds in it.
I get a lot of nicknames as well, like Bubblegum Boy, because a guy thought it looked like a bubblegum ingredient. And
if you're thinking that he sounds like Tommy Chong, Tommy Chong's Asian.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah,
my
He
bad,
meant
man,
the name, not
Oh shit. Well, never mind. I mean, okay.
Yeah,
Now that you said he sounds like Tommy Chong, it's all I hear.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, that's what I was thinking that, and I'm like, also like, what is it, the turtle or whatever from Finding Nemo?
Last week it was Ben Stein, dry eyes for clear eyes. So whatever.
Just out of
man.
curiosity, what do you guys think of what do you guys think of the person who killed Charlie Kirk? Is everyone on the same page of what ideology he was at?
Well, as far as I know, nobody's been.
You
convicted
just missed
of
that conversation.
Nobody's.
Yeah, we kind of had that convo.
Well, it's
a
disagreement
couple
with no solution, so that's what I'm asking.
Well, I think
I think
guy
that's
is a
because
POS.
mostly I think he was a political, not necessarily right or left, from what I hear. And I understand his father said he was going more left, but if you're an extreme conservative, MAGA Republican, and anybody outside of that belief is left. It does. I mean, anybody who makes any move outside of that belief. Let's say, who was the guy that went to Texas? Ted Cruz. That's right. You know, when the power went out in Texas, he went off to Cancun or whatever.
Go visit
This guy
Cancun.
actually came out talking against the silencing of people in public, and he was necessarily talking about Jimmy Kimmel. And there have been so many posts about him being changing sides or going more to the. Yes, that is the big issue. Is they want him to fit that perfect liberal Antifa t-shirt wearing, spray paint can holding, but he doesn't fit that characteristic, and it's driving them nuts, and they can't pin it, so they're desperately trying to find some way to pin it left, and I don't really agree with
Jimmy?
that argument at all. No, Ted Cruz.
Oh, Ted Cruz. Okay.
Because
Yeah, I noticed ever since the right got into power, they've started doing the exact same thing that they were criticizing the left for when Biden was in power, was censorship, which is completely something I disagree with. There should be no censorship,
right,
regardless right or left. But the biggest problem is that if the left do that as well, I mean, according to CNN.
Yeah, I was mentioning earlier how it's kind of sad that they kick him off, because he's really the only one that's truly in dissent, other than just, I mean, Effigy will argue. I mean, Effigy will argue the point, which I kind of dig Effigy, but I don't know. Once Ryan was gone, it was like, who was there to poke him? Nobody.
Anybody who disagrees with any sort of the talking points of the left are all fascists. That's what got Charlie Kirk killed. He was a Christian, and he was a conservative. He was nothing like a
making
fascist.
accusations. Stop it. You guys keep doing that.
Wait a minute, though.
We know not really a lot, because anything. So we can't know so much.
Listen to the host, FG. He's the host right now.
So much about this subject. The reason why I say we can't know so much is because it would taint the jury pool when it comes down to a trial, for us to know every little detail about this. So 90% of what you're picking up online is possibly bullshit.
Yeah.
But Effigy,
we will find out for sure.
Yeah, but that's just an assumption. The Utah government came out with these results. So these aren't just speculation. The Utah government did the investigation and said a whole bunch of things about him. And then you make a determination.
A whole bunch of different things about him.
Hang on, the Utah government explicitly said that he had no ties to left-wing groups, right?
No, they didn't. They didn't. They said he had anti-fascist bullets. He had a trans boyfriend. He was politically different from his family, and then he joined a far left organization for 6 months in the university.
Now listen to the fancy words there. Now this guy, I think, knows exactly how he worded that. that he was politically indifferent from his family. That's not left. That just means he wasn't MAGA right. And what was the other one? And I do like Effigy. And now Effigy also, I've had some, back and forth with Effigy. He'll back and forth with anybody if they're wrong, which is good. But yeah, this guy, he worded that in a way that made it where he wasn't exactly accusing, but then he was finishing it up with only an accusation or only an answer that accuses him of being leftist. I don't know if the kid was leftist. If he was, I mean, I'm not saying there's not bad people on the left as there is on the right.
Those 4 indicate that he was a leftist.
Right. Where has anyone said that he's? Where's the proof that he joined a left-wing group? Because I just checked.
I can't find that anywhere.
Checked this like yesterday, and the Utah authorities said that he was not affiliated with any left-wing groups.
I'm going to get.
Not groups.
We're going to say that, and of course,
I'm going to get some coffee.
I'm not saying that doesn't mean he's not left-wing or anything. I'm just saying that that's what the Utah authorities are saying about his affiliation with left-wing groups.
And as far as what you're saying about Trippy Cat, I mean, yeah, he's Trippy Cat is sometimes a little, hard to talk to, but he at the same time he seems to be pressing this guy with Effigy. He's kind of like teaming up with Effigy at the moment, and that I kind of like.
That he was part of a group, though, right?
I mean, yeah, but I can see your issue with Trippy.
He just did.
He did. He's very clearly claiming that he joined a left-wing group,
but he wasn't part of a left-wing group outside of the university. No.
Yeah, nobody can find it.
Anything. It was when he was.
So far, everybody I've noticed that tried to look it up can't find it.
At the technical college, because when he was in university, he was only there for 6 months, and he was there remote. So he didn't really have a chance to join anything when he was at Utah University. This would have been when he was at the technical college.
No,
there's no way that YouTube helped him become radicalized. There's no way that news helped him become radicalized.
Oh yeah, he watched Charlie Kirk talk and didn't like what Charlie Kirk said. And
well, you do have to figure it out with your
hands, which is horrible.
No, Zerzuz, I don't think that if you actually watch what Charlie Kirk said, like if you sit there.
No, I didn't say I said the guy taking his life was horrible. Now, there were some things that Charlie Kirk said diminishing the loss of life in certain situations, such as that was a little strong, but I don't know if he was. I can do that, but I don't really, not right now. I mean, you can go look at my channel where I
really quick. I can't bring up the super chat.
You can go look at it on Charlie.
I'll just put up a super chat.
Hold on. Effigy's reading.
Hold on, wait.
Hang on. I just want to. Jess Gerald just put up a super chat. I can't bring it up or anything, but I am going to comment to it. Jess Gerald, just last night on this panel, we had a right-wing trans person.
Yep.
Okay.
So, right. It's funny because they think
exist. Like you guys just can't.
They think they live in like a micro bubble where there's no transgenders, there's no gays, sorry guys. I mean, you live in a society that's very diverse. And unfortunately, you guys don't realize it, but a lot of the Republican Party is also diverse.
They don't exist.
No one said that they don't.
Y'all are missing the point, right? The lines aren't left-right. Like Americans have this really bad problem where they think in binary terms in politics.
Yeah. Evil or good.
The problem isn't left-right. It's transhuman and normal human, right?
What?
And so this guy was a pro-transhuman.
He started good.
And that was the problem, right?
What's a transhuman?
Radicalized him.
Isn't a transhuman somebody who has like a robotic arm or something? No.
This comedy debates guy, I don't know, man. He kind of starts off sounding like he's on a good idea and then spins off into some other direction.
Transhumanism and transgenderism is not the same thing, man.
Yeah, no, I didn't think so.
It is. It's all part of the same ideology where you think that you can be something that
they're adjacent to each other for sure.
I know Effigy considers himself a couch sometimes.
No, I don't think that's the transhuman. There's a difference between transhuman and non-transhuman. That's one idea that the right disagrees with, that there is transhuman even exists, but that doesn't mean that they're fascists.
No, it's not about. So it's not about all of the buzzwords that you've had piled into your brain from all the news you've watched your entire life. It's a totally
You
different.
mean like the ones you used?
Oh my god. Okay.
Well, that's
There's a reason what we have the left and the right, good and evil, whatever you guys want to use. We don't live in a parliamentary system. We live in a winner take all left and right issue. We live in basically a two-party system. Third party's never going to win. We just give up on that.
Third parties have one in the United States. That's fallacious. There's a long history of third parties in the United States.
They're not going to.
Just because the laws have been changed to restrict third-party ballot access and viable third parties because the two major parties wanted to prevent competition doesn't mean that we all have to think in binary terms in a fallacious manner. That's ridiculous.
How can you say that? How can you say that there's a two-party system but we can't think in a binary? If there's only a two-party system, there's two sets of ideas.
Okay.
Because even in a two-party system, there's an antecedent, the not matching either party. I mean, that's everybody. Why does everybody think in such black and white terms?
How you think is not totally dependent upon the choices that you're allowed to have in an election. They're two totally unrelated.
In practice, yes, but if we have to have a conversation, you've got the people on the right that have a certain set of ideas, and the people on the left that have a certain set of ideas. They don't necessarily have to have exactly two different ones. They can intertwine. But if you have a person who thinks more on the left, they've got more ideas of left stuff and maybe a little bit of the right, but you can still say that they're of the left, correct?
Yeah, and to your point, there was
on the spectrum. Like if you use 0 as Democrat, 100% as Republican. If you're 60 on that, you're a conservative. You're moderate to conservative leaning. If you're a 40, you're a Democrat, moderate. It's all in a spectrum, but you're still living in a dichotomy system of either left or right.
Yes.
No one's
Gerald, I know you already read this earlier, Effigy, but Gerald says, yeah, but I mean, do you know any men on the far right with a trans furry boyfriend? And I know, Effigy, you did bring up the person, Samantha, who was on last night.
That's kind of the hair of the dog, but
I don't know
it's
anybody
a
has
super chat, so I
but we do
shouldn't
have
really
Rachel's
bust it.
Ghost, who is a trans right-leaning MAGA Trump-loving everything far right. So it can kind of sway both ways. Like your idea.
It's like the follow-up to the question is: are they all the exact same height as the trans couple in Tyler Robinson's? It's no, man. How far do you have to go to prove that there's trans people in your party?
Ideologies can still be in one direction, but then your personal interests can also sway in another way. I don't know if anybody else also notices, but there's a very large gay community coming over to the far right. There's a influencer who he's a man who likes to do makeup and stuff. I don't know if anybody saw
Jeffree
that video.
Star?
Yes, thank you. Made a big stink about.
Do you think supporting Trump is far right?
Yes.
No.
Does anybody think it's not? That's funny. That's funny. Even on a conservative panel, everybody kind of chuckled at that. Like, dude, what are you, stupid? Trying to find
That's the issue.
that video for you.
Yeah,
it's like 2 hours
to
long.
Ella Sparta for getting your own YouTube membership. And backstage, I still have Lost Wisdom, Nova, and Kay hanging out. Guys, support bringing on Tits McGee.
Yeah,
Look,
Nova.
We all know why we like when she's here. Let's not be foolish. And she's laughing, right? See, I like to watch her laugh because she's bouncing back there when she laughs. Yeah. And it's okay. The more jokes you say, the more she bounces and the more happier you can be. So somebody proves somebody. So
the time that third parties have won in the United States is specifically when both Republicans and Democrats, or not, they weren't even Republicans and Democrats. It was like Reagan and whatnot then, but the conservatives and the liberals were so far out of touch that the third parties were able to take advantage of that. And we may actually be getting in that. We may actually be getting into that time where both the liberal and the conservative are so far out of touch from our reality that one of the neutral parties end up taking over. I'll have to see it be good. I don't blame you. Lots of craziness here.
We can get Tits McGee. Yeah, you know it. Yep.
And sometimes
She
she'll
does it.
stand up and stuff too, and she'll sit
Yeah,
down
and make her do
and
a
you'll be like,
twirl.
and she's very close to reaching monetization on her School of Thought channel. I'll throw the link in the chat for the people who might want to subscribe up and help her
Follow
hit
Tits
500.
McGee. And she says nice things.
It's McGee. They're so wrong.
We just
she's
like
not
to
here
watch
for that
Star,
tonight.
Nova Star.
Maybe I don't know. If Ryan comes back, she'll explode. She might actually like turn into a tomato.
No, Ryan can't come back unless somebody else pays another $100 to bring Ryan back. If he's still streaming, and if somebody wants to pay $100 to unboot,
Yeah, I'd like Ryan to come back so I can talk to him about what he reckons fascism
he's
is.
why I
'Cause
came
As soon as
up
he
with
left, we
well,
need to find
if
it.
somebody pays that hundo for the unboot, I will text Ryan right now and tell him to come back, and he will. He did last time.
Shoot, I'd love to see a
And then
full
he got
debate between
booted.
Vinny and Ryan on that.
Well, the funniest
Oh, I'm
thing was
dying
the
for it.
last time.
Because he's actually really clever. I think sometimes he just sort of doesn't
Well,
concede enough.
Someone paid $100 to bring Ryan back after he'd already been booted for an hour, and I texted him. I'm like, "Hey, come back! They bought you back." And as soon as he got here, somebody paid another $100 to reban him.
That's so
Yeah, I'm surprised
wrong.
because he was the only one who was very left wing, and then they all booted him. And it's like, well, then where's the argument now? Now he's gone. Then you've got people that slightly disagree.
Yeah, we like the conversation.
Yeah,
I mean, I do.
I know.
Effigy's
They do
a
that all the
left-winger.
time. Effigy's left, but he's not quite Ryan left.
I mean, I like the conversation, but I also like the screaming matches and the throwing bants at each other and the random cuss words and. Nova brought up Blair
That's
White.
funny.
Yeah, Blair White's a conservative and
Yeah.
not quite
Ultra
Blair White's trans.
Republicans.
No matter
I
how
saw
many
her
of you
Jessica
guys in the
Peterson
chat
was so funny.
would argue that she's different and that's like there's a lot of guys in the chat that would be like, oh, I just
Doesn't
I
use
was
the-
looking at Blair White last night. It's like
Doesn't Blair White
you're
use
still
the he pronoun though?
not I don't know. I know that
I
Blair
think-
White has said that she
I think
believes that she will always be a man, scientifically.
Oh,
And
look,
that's true.
I love this. I love
Actually,
this.
that's another thing. You
Bill
guys,
Alright
you guys
says I
define
got
what
Ryan
gender is.
I got Ryan to fact check a ton of things last night, and he was proven wrong each time. He did concede more than the usual Democrat, so he has potential. That's what I'm saying. You guys slam Ryan a lot, but he's always such good faith about certain not always. I'll say that, not always, but he's a good sport about it. You can say just about any and everything to him. You can chastise him. You can call him names. You can boot him. You can ban him from the panel for the night. And he still comes back ready to play all over again. And he's always ready for it. I'll never catch. If I said, hey, I need to do a stream tonight. Do you want to join? I really need someone. He would 110% do it. And he's one of the few that is that way. Not a lot of you are. So you guys hate him all you want, but I think he's a most excellent panelist to have. He's always up for a debate, and he'll always take it on full steam. Mr. Bill says over on Trippy's side, I think, Samantha wanted all Jan Sixers to be eliminated, right?
Which Samantha, though? I'm wondering.
Was that the
Is
Samantha
that
from last night?
the so-called right-wing trans from last?
Oh, the
night?
one oh I didn't catch the whole show.
I was
last
a little in and out of that conversation.
It's not so called. She straight up said it. She got into a thing with us, and she was like, "No, I'm a right wing Christian trans person."
So, but she wanted.
I think she does. She tries to promote for him a little more to hang out. Like, she tries to tell her channel, hey, man, it's good to have somebody like this up. But I think she should kind of promote for him more about, hey, guys, he's the only guy that's actually debating. The rest of them are just basically circle jerking.
The Jan Sixers to be jailed,
right?
Or eliminated. That seems like a little extreme for both sides there.
I don't know where Mr. Bill is getting that. I was on the panel the whole time last night, and I never heard her say that.
I don't recall that, but
I immediately thought of that chick that used to have a TV show. I'm not sure if she still does. Samantha Bee. You guys remember her? No. It's because nobody watched her show. But
Far
yeah.
from Pukin says, I would respect him if he would get the fucking tooth fix that a bunch of people donated for. He hasn't received the funds yet. Or at least to my knowledge, he's not received the funds yet. He could have.
The list kind of makes it a little funnier too.
He could have since the last time I heard Ryan say I haven't received the funds. I don't know if he's received them yet, but to my knowledge, as of now,
they never exactly concede.
Yeah, and them implants are like $3,000 to $9,000 depending on which tooth, and it's a lot. It's a lot of money, and then I think that's without insurance. And I don't know a single dentist that'll take you without insurance. So
that's what happens with YouTubers. As soon as they become famous, all of a sudden their teeth are white and shiny.
And we'll all call it mouth nudes.
Yeah, there was a commercial there. There are a couple of commercials that cut people off. I think
like
there's
the
one that
operation
even
on
cuts me
4chan
off.
called Clogging the Toilet, where they reserved a bunch of flights out of India to stop them from trying to bypass or trying to get in the U.S. before they were before the $100,000 cost gets implemented.
What? That's so fucking.
Yeah,
dude,
that's naturally what would happen. Yeah.
Just throw TP in the toilets on the planes? What? Jesus.
They go and they reserve all the flights from India, from like all the seats going from India to the United States, and they call that Operation Clogging the Toilet. And
it was literal.
And it's something where they actually reported about it in India itself. So they're actually doing some.
It's like 2016.
You have to say actually that many times. I don't believe.
If you guys want to make the country a better place, do us all a favor. Stay off of 4chan.
Yeah, that's poison, bro.
I would recommend
really
the same.
Downhill a lot.
True. It got infiltrated by a bunch of foreign agencies trying to go and psyop it and destroy it. So
yeah, probably like 20 years ago. Man, I remember when 4chan in the early 2000s, it was mostly left and black pillars. It was crazy. And now how it's all flipped around.
Effigy. I got there used to be this dude that I used to stream with, right? And go ahead.
Wow.
You got a stream don't know.
Jason didn't even fuck around. He's like, nope. Bye, Ryan. Enjoy the content of the rest. Jason says, we're not even going to try to call him over.
Wow.
This is just a preemptive strike. No, Ryan. Absolutely
Sounds
not.
like there's some personal beef there.
Yeah, according to your chat, I need to bring on Ryan like once a night, and then I can start paying my rent a little quicker.
We're about 1/3 done. So I may be
quicker. I mean, come on.
Well, people don't like him. Like, he got into Grid's chat and started cussing at the mods, and Grid was like, nope, you're gone. You don't cuss at my mods, right?
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Don't ever mess with somebody's mods. I get irritated when they talk shit to my mods, and then my mods time them out, and then they complain that, well, your mod timed me out. Well, you were talking shit. Fuck off. Like, and my mods are allowed to have their own opinions, and they don't have to like yours either. But that, they play fair up until they don't have to.
Right. Effigy, you were talking about 4chan. I had this guy that was coming at me, like, trying to attack me through YouTube videos and stuff, and he was like, you don't mess with me, Trippy. I'm an old school 4chaner. And I was like, dude, that makes me want to mess with you even more.
See you on /B.
Old school 4chaner. So scary.
Is 4chan a right-wing version of Reddit?
No.
I don't know
Not
if it has
nearly
a wing.
as
It would
nearly
be
as
like
organized as
Reddit
Reddit.
was Fed posting and had a lot of honeypots, and then you mixed half truths with everything else. It's so you're not far off. It's like Reddit.
Yeah,
It's
4chan was started as the message board with no rules.
Reddit's crazy. If you say anything they don't like, they'll ban you. It's quicker than anything. You have to say what they want, or they ban you. You get banned.
Well, no, every community has its own set of mods. Like that's
Hey,
Reddit.
thanks, Jess Gerald. He donated, he said, $20 for your rent. I'm definitely not giving that to my landlord.
I think I found the video.
Thank you, Gerald.
Thoughtful.
Thank you, Jess. So awesome. Your chat is amazing. I was trying to get them to go over to Star's channel. Can you throw me in the back and bring her up? Can we do that? And then because she's been waiting and she had a lot to say. She had a lot to say. So watch out, Effigy. She's gonna punch you right where you don't want her to. No, I'm kidding. I don't know what her plan is.
All right. I'll put you backstage.
Thank you.
Her, I'll like it.
What a gentleman, offering his seat for the lovely lady.
Why, thank you. I had so much to say an hour ago when it was on that topic, and now the topic has changed.
Oh, we can move right on back in. Go ahead.
Oh, let's go back.
Oh, okay. You guys were talking about the whole FCC thing, and the last time I was on the panel, I brought up some points. I want to bring up something else, which was this. You know, everybody on the left seems to want omissions of guilt. Has anybody ever noticed? They want a full-blown omission of guilt before they accept anything. But that's not how Hollywood and the entertainment world work. There's always squabbles, and there's things constantly going on. The FCC is threatening networks. Networks are threatening actors. It's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth all the fucking time. But none of you ever see that stuff, okay? You got to keep looking at things as though it's real all the time, all right? Number one, not only did he have his contract up and it was already in negotiations this May, his ratings are down in the dumps, right? Okay, so what happens when somebody's ratings are down in the dumps?
They get fired.
They they do that first, but they bring up controversy. And then the next thing you know, 2 days later, he comes right back. Right?
Yeah, that'll boost them for
that
one
boosts him,
week.
yes.
Maybe.
And when it comes to contracts, guys, if they were to
They brought him back because there was a boycott.
yes, when it comes to networks and contracts, if there's a contract going on and there's
I had to step out to put some recycling in.
beef and whatnot happening. If they were to do full-blown omission, it would leave them completely open to litigation from the public. Does anybody understand that?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, everyone
Yes,
understands that, but there's a
you'd be
difference
looking-
there's a slight difference. The FCC was involved. That's the problem every people have. It's the FCC pressured him. That's the problem. Not anything else. It's just that the government was involved in that aspect.
So
And the people on the right, when Biden was in power, we disagreed with that when he did it. So now Trump's doing it. I still disagree with that part.
All right. Well, this is always happening behind the scenes, though. You don't always hear about it. So my point to you is this: they're using it as an opportunity to create controversy and publicity. It's called publicity, guys. Good or bad, all publicity is great publicity for them. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So if they did all of this and they really fully admitted to it, every single one of us could sue the entire network right down to removing that corporate veil and get right to the board of directives. Does anybody understand that? So they're not going to do that. Everybody covers everybody's ass. Politics and Hollywood are just like this. There is no separation. Don't think that there ever is. And if you think that there is, you're severely deceived already. Okay?
Yeah. So fun bags. You made a really excellent point.
Right?
Thank you.
Fun bags.
So
Thank you.
I totally agree, Nicody.
Thank you.
So
They're gonna kick her off
that's not the
again.
only theater that was involved.
Poison
No, of course
Willow.
not. There's lots of theater involved. Yes, of course.
Yeah. So the FCC director didn't actually take any official action. He just expressed his distaste for what was said by Kimmel. Right?
Wait, no, he said there's going to be a lot of work for the FCC ahead if they didn't cancel Kimmel's show.
Exactly.
So it was just and so there was actually no government action, and claiming that there was government action is false.
Well, in her defense, there's not a lot of ladies that'll go up there and talk on Sarah's channel, so it's kind of nice to have, even if it's a hard Republican, almost conspiratorial, then it's good because it's at least not just a bunch of swinging sausage.
It's just more political theater.
No one said the government took action, but he did threaten.
Jess Gerald has spoken, and he's sending fun bags back to the back and wants Trippy back up instead. All right,
No,
we'll
we
put you
need
back.
fun bags.
I know. Well, you got to put money down to negate the.
I need more women.
See, I don't have any.
Just
You have
I know. You get rid of the
Right,
only
grow some
other
boobs.
female that comes on here and actually wants to talk about the topic, and she has a pair of twins with her. And you boo Jess Gerald.
Pair of twins.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Oh, wow, trippy.
I don't
God.
think this one has the jiggles. My old one had jiggles.
Beer
It was
got
jiggle.
really makes that.
Yeah, you guys want to see my ball?
Do you mind if we switch topics quickly?
Yes,
sure,
please,
why not?
please.
I mean, I want to talk about fun
can
bags
anyone
too.
please describe to me what gender actually is? Not sex, like gender, the actual term gender.
The
Social
socially, social yeah.
A social
Whether
construct
you're
of
not,
what?
you're born with balls or a vagina.
No,
that's sex, not gender.
Can you define for me?
Look, I don't
It's the
want to do the
definition of
whole
define.
sex and gender are two different things because they're not. It's
So-
just
Yeah,
not.
but you're not explaining what
I
gender
would
is.
say,
You're saying
I
what's
would say
not.
roles,
it's
behaviors,
under-
identities, and attributes.
That is how it's understood according to like the general society. Some people refuse to accept the definition or the fact that gender is anything different from sex, and some people accept it as the more social construct of it. But yes, we can go through that combat too if you want.
And
Yes,
there've
I
always
define
been
him as
more
a
than
complete
two
dork.
genders, right? Because it's always pretty much been understood socially that there was the masculine traits, the feminine traits, and then the others, the neuter, the thing that isn't either one of those, like
No.
inanimate objects, and the things that aren't gendered, right? So there's always been three.
Depends on the language. I mean,
What's the third?
You look
There
at the
are
remaining
societies that have
no
had three
gender.
genders in
Yeah.
normative
I think
in their
he's
societies
saying-
as well, smaller societies.
I
How do
think
they
he's saying
reproduce?
languages, everything
No
for
genders.
the is either male or female. So like
But-
or Spanish, there's male and female words. So
Yep.
we have. I mean, this is affecting a lot of things, but
Yeah,
my
but there's
opinion-
masculine, feminine, and neuter. Though,
Well, I'm
when
saying-
you're talking
I'm
about
saying-
gendered
Well,
language.
I'm going to step down a minute, but I'm just going to say this real quick. My definition, this could be wrong. You guys can correct me. Gender was used to get rid of a dichotomy of mostly saying male and female. They wanted a spectrum, and how you do a spectrum is you create a new word called gender, and now everything can be on a spectrum. So
Yeah.
it's changing language for
I think they're cutting down a
different
tree
meanings. So
over
instead
there.
of saying like someone is this or something's that, now I can just use an analogous term called gender and I can make it mean whatever I want. I could be, asexual. I could be, pansexual. I could make it a spectrum now. So instead of being precise with our words, we're becoming more generic because we're just putting things on a spectrum. We're not being
Opposite. Sorry.
Well,
Correct.
language in general is utilitarian. We create words as we go through time that make a utilitarian purpose of what we're talking about. It gives it a tool so that we can describe something separate from something else, and that's
Yes.
just normal formation of language.
Yeah, and gender is not sex, Bandit.
Correct.
You were yeah. So what you're bothered with?
What the fuck?
What?
I'm missing something cool. Oh, shit. Oh, I was like, I better
Just come back from a peak
You're the one.
Yeah, Bandit.
Talk. It's been a while.
Man, that was a good time for a commercial.
Bye.
His name is Bandit because he's wanted for robbing banks.
Yeah, it was good to have another leftist up here, Bandit. Thanks for coming up.
I'm not leftist. I'm trying to be very.
He's Bandit's clever. He's very clever.
No. If anything, he's a
conservative.
communist. He loves
Yeah.
communists.
Yeah,
Oh my.
that's the
Get
vibe I
that
got.
word out of your mouth.
Especially women.
You're-
Don't swear.
See, he knows I know better than what I said there. So
Someone was going to say something about gender.
Oh yeah. I was going to say that like when I heard it, I know it had like a specific sort
Send me
of
back.
Nice one, GMK.
just can't win for losing tonight.
Wow.
You
Going crazy.
you traded
Yes, Gerald
you traded
hates
Nova
kitties.
for K.
No wonder we're always talking about gender and gay people on here.
like what I heard is that it was like a specific phrase, like it was like a category before there was categories, and then I looked up the etymology, and it was the Norman phrase of them trying to go in, put specifics where it was taken from like the Latin word genus or type, so just subcategories. So it's just like trying to categorize people.
Not just people. It can be
K,
categorizing
sorry.
anything.
Well,
Language.
male and
said
female
in the private
are
chat-
categorization of different
Hold on.
people.
Hold on.
Gender is something different, isn't it?
Just people.
Hold on a second.
Hang on, she's trying to say something,
Hold
guys.
on. Kay has he's revolutionizing backstage, and he said, "Nope, I'm giving up my spot for Nova. Gestural, you've been vetoed. You have been vetoed by the panelists." He says, "No, I'd rather sit in the back. Send up Tits McGee."
Kicking the girls to the back. That's just wrong.
What a scholar and a gentleman. I like this guy. You're cool. I like
Now,
you.
by the end of tonight, this guy with the knotted hair, the guy with the red hair, what's his name? Something I don't even remember his name. He starts going into some really nonsensical, like mind control theories and stuff.
It's so sweet, Kay.
It is.
Thank you.
I'm lagging though. Am I lagging?
No, you're not
lagging. Okay, on my
Well, we
side,
here.
I'm
We
lagging
can
bad.
check. You ready? Ready, Nova?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a countdown, and you're gonna finish the countdown on the same rhythm.
Okay.
So you're
Is
gonna
my shirt
pick up.
open?
Hey, bud, how you doing?
Okay, there we go.
You're gonna pick up where I leave off. 10, 9,
9,
8, 7.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
She knows how to count.
So
Wait,
she can stay on panel because she can count.
Cool.
She's the only one out
There's
of the
a
whole
delay
band.
on my side, as long as it's okay for you.
I think
seemed like
I
a
think
small
you're
door.
fine.
Well, be good, man.
Yeah. It was very minimal.
That's less than a second, I think.
Yeah, so gender isn't just for people, right? It's a description of polarity for anything, right? Language can be gendered. You can gender.
Can fruit be a gender?
Yes, it can.
Yeah, male and female plants as well.
Female category would be soft. Male category would be hard.
Male category is hard.
They're polaric. They're polaric opposites. That's why it's so hard to define what gender something is in a vacuum, because it's mostly relative, like hard and soft, right? You can't really say what's hard and soft. It has to be related.
I can.
Wow.
Very good at that.
No, it has to be related to something. It's a comparative polarity term, right? So,
But it's not describing the actual object, it's describing the language that you use, correct?
well, no, you can describe a fruit as a feminine object or a masculine object. So, like a masculine feature would be to have a point, right? A feminine feature would be to be rounded.
Okay.
Why is soft feminine?
Why?
Because women are soft.
That's just
squishy.
That's the polaric description of feminine.
Men aren't.
Sarah, they're saying
Only when we're
they say you
flat.
have a squishy ass.
Man
I don't
and
know about
woman.
that.
Okay. I take away
A
squishy.
woman can be masculine, and a man can be feminine.
True.
Right?
Tomboys.
Yeah.
Doesn't
That's
that defeat the
why
purpose of your
gender
version of gender?
not a
Gene
sex.
man, I guess.
That's why it's
Gene
gender
man.
and not sex, right? So if you look at any other language that's not English, there's a lot of words that are actual feminine words. So
He
in a
is
spiral,
kind of right on this.
a feminine nature of a spiral would be to spiral inwards, while a masculine would be to go outwards.
To be or not to be.
Yeah, it's
Gender.
like, and there's
So you're saying
there's-
gender is the description of masculine and feminine?
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a
Okay,
polarity.
I
All right,
can see
hold
that.
up. Hold up a second. Jess, I'm officially tripling the price to send any ladies back
No, you guys,
to the
you gotta-
back, because not only are you paying to send her to the back, but she has her twins with her as well. So you have to pay 10 for each one. to
My
get her
ass
backstage.
matches.
Okay. All right. You're paying for each one of those.
I can't believe
left
they
and
keep
right.
kicking her.
I think I'm gonna
Why?
make this officially a new rule. Like,
Yeah.
to boot a female, like, I think I'm gonna have to up the ante, because
I just don't get why they keep paying to kick her.
When they do get
What if
here,
they're
you
flat though?
Well, the
doesn't
itty bitty
matter.
titty committee also
Listen,
works.
I don't have tits, so I can't negate the idea that other women are flat chested too. So
Well,
But-
I want to talk about the points that she was making, right? I mean, she had some really good points there.
oh yeah, they're pointy.
Yeah, right under her top.
I'm glad y'all got the joke.
Oh God, we're so.
You're such a misogynist.
I like
Such a
little
misogyny.
misogyny. What's wrong with that?
If anything, she's a
Many
misandrist. A
round of
misandrist. She is just as hardcore with that shit.
I haven't
we
heard
were
that
arguing over
name in a
something
long
last
time.
night, and I was like, I'm going to Sarah. I'm going to have Sarah set us up a debate, but
Oh my
the
gosh.
topic was a little.
Tell her what it was.
It was. I don't know. Okay, whether or not men can be raped
By a woman.
Of course
By
they
by
can.
women, and also,
Absolutely, they can.
Of course they can.
Yes, but to men, grape is a positive connotation, not a negative one.
now I was
It's
trying
not,
to.
not on the
I
front
bet you
end.
could find a
it's on
woman
the
you
back
wouldn't.
end.
Oh,
positive for.
please don't grape me, lady. Please.
Yeah.
Is that
See,
how
I
it
don't
see,
think
works?
you're going to complain about it.
Look,
Yeah,
look. When I'm
exactly.
saying that,
I
when
swear
I
I won't tell anyone.
when I'm saying that, I'm not trying
I'm just listening, waiting for my turn.
to say that it's the exact same for men as it would be ladies. Ladies have a
Yeah.
lot. It's a lot more effed
No,
up.
it's the opposite.
You know what I mean?
Don't
Like
know
it's a
if
lot.
a man
it's a lot,
loses.
uh,
I don't know if a man loses absolute control and has a woman take advantage of him like that, and he really truly doesn't want it. Let's say he's a gay. Let's say he's a gay man, absolutely gay, and finds women repulsive. Then that would most certainly have the same effect as a female getting raped.
No, but I think he's talking about the more insidious part,
Joel,
because
hold
a man can always
Joel
overpower the
says-
woman. That's why the grape
I was
bad.
gonna say,
A woman's
men
version of
overpower
grape would be while he's asleep, or what?
Wow, did you hear how bad they barked against that? All I was saying is that a man who really doesn't want it would have the same mental and emotional effect as a woman.
She does something while they or puts a pin in the condom. That's what I would
I
consider
don't know.
woman.
Looks like
Yeah,
Nova
well-
could whip
Hold on a
redheads,
second.
but
Do I need to
though.
turn
Okay,
my
okay.
volume up even more?
Sorry, Red Man.
Is
You are
it
got your
not-
name.
Yeah,
Shush,
you're
While the
right.
host is
Shush,
talking,
let Sarah-
shut up.
Go. Yes.
Joel says it's funny how fruit genders coincide directly with the observable and provable facts of plants, but we muddy it up for humans. I concur.
Correct.
You can totally be a tomboy, but still be a female.
Oh, yeah.
woman.
Oh, yeah.
You can
Yay.
just be a tomboy.
Yay, 3
but,
chicks.
Like for some reason we have to change the whole dynamic of because I was a tomboy growing up. That doesn't mean I was a dude. I
Same.
just liked comfortable clothes and I liked to play very
Yeah,
athletic
he was a beautiful
And
boy.
Well,
Jess-
actually, a
Jess-
tomboy
Jess-
is a description of a masculine girl at a young age. So a
Yes.
tomboy can't be a boy. The description is specifically for a young girl that acts like a guy.
He's not. She's not tracking. Jess Gerald says, "Fine." He's giving in. Yes, bring the ladies up. And actually, I'm gonna put the ladies all together.
How rich is
Girl
Jess?
power. Look, I've got blue on
Powerpuff
one side,
Girls.
purple on another, and red right
You
in the
go.
middle. I love this. And yes, give in, Jess. Give in
Well, you
to
gotta-
the girl power.
Flop,
Let us
Bubbles and
be up
Buttercup.
here.
You got to bring Trippy up there on the girl side.
I am not.
Cool.
I am a clowny
Trippy in the
gender.
middle.
Okay, this one doesn't jiggle, so like my boobies are not. They're not real as they used to be. You know, I got to make the chest and the stomach jiggle again.
Well, Nova
Bring
has
back
the
the jiggle.
perfect, elasticity type of thing. If you need that for an example,
I used
I
her as
do.
an example last
Mimic.
time. Yes. I was like, can you jump up and down for a while? Okay. And she was like, are you done making the puppet? I was like, it was done like 4 hours ago. But
Are you in a jacuzzi or a spa?
Oh,
hmm
Are you in a jacuzzi or a spa?
Yeah. It's
A
crazy.
jacuzzi.
show the booty.
I don't have the
What?
booty anymore. I got to remake that part.
No.
Or find it.
Same.
It's more
Honestly,
like
I'm on my,
Yeah.
my booty era too. It's really
See,
tough out here.
This avatar used to have a mirror right here, and I could make the butt shake on because it was my butt. You know, like a Twitch girl. You know.
very nice.
Twitch girl. Hey,
But
we
you
love
guys
our
can
Twitch
always
girls.
roll
Moral of the
my ball.
story:
Twitch
you've
girls
lost your
represent.
butt.
Yeah, I
You look
lost
like
my
you're in
butt.
a
It's on
70s
PC, though.
porno.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
Well, speaking of Twitch, it's crazy
Right.
that they're going
I
to
agree with that
Congress to
statement.
testify, considering all the shit that's been on there.
Dude, they
Yeah,
also
they're
like yeah,
invited.
honestly, it was insane. I honestly did a deep dive the other day into
So what they're basing that argument on is so the study was talking about a transgender male, and what that means is a female that has been turned male. And if the uterine is still functional, then yes, absolutely. And they're twisting that to mean, you get where I'm going here.
Like all the happenings, because I was like, okay, it was like one of Destiny's little allies that like kind of commandeered the story, so I was kind of skeptical to even like look into it. Bro, they IP banned everyone in Israel. Like that's pretty without saying a goddamn word. That's pretty insane. Like,
it is.
Dude.
And the reason why I say that is because it starts you start female, you transgender, or you transition to male. If your uterine still is functional, then well, yeah, you could still have a baby.
Yeah, and bro, it's crazy. Someone, it was like my first week on Twitch, and I shit on people all the time for like, Amazon is built on child labor, and then they were like, bro, your paycheck's about to come from Amazon. I was just like, damn, you can say shit if you fucking stream on Twitch, because Twitch literally is like very like.
And then
not
Elon Musk
like,
reached out to Bezos to let him know what's been being said on the platform.
That's not like streaming on Twitch is probably the least like ethical consumer like thing I do. Like it doesn't matter if I check for vegan hair products.
Yeah, from this point on, it's next to impossible to get a word in.
Condemning and dragging those people in front of the government, though. Free speech is free speech. If they want to police it inside the company, that's their own business. If it's not commercially viable, this is just like when the Democrats were doing this nonsense before. It's just another flavor of censorship.
The issue that Twitch is doing is that they are allowing terrorism to be promoted on the platform.
Define terrorism.
Going and bringing in enemies of the United States that have went and raided vehicles.
That's not terrorism to me. It would be a attack on the populace, the people of a country, or a people of a region, or even a people of a, let's say, even a corporation, in order to make them. I know the define thing. In order to make them adhere to something you wish for them to do. That would be terrorism. Causing harm to force somebody to adhere to your will.
To go
a group of people.
Pirates?
Yep. Like the Yemeni pirate, and then
And piracy is not terrorism. That's why it's called piracy. They're causing terror on a corporation. Now they'll do, and I did mention the corporation earlier, but in a sense of that takes a lot to explain. But in a sense of piracy is not affecting it's not harming the public. It's not harming the populace. It's harming the corporation only.
It was propaganda straight from like a bunch of Islamic nationalist terrorist groups have done.
Now, should they be allowed on these platforms? Well, I mean, no, but if a platform has pirates on it, what is it, 4chan? TikTok?
Crazy shit in Nigeria, Syria.
Yeah, but he asked you to define terrorism. Terrorism is not propaganda. So terrorism is a political act of violence against the government, correct?
Vinny, he mentioned the guy from the Somali.
He said against the government. Create terror in the
stream. The guy that was a Somali pirate was literally on a Zan stream. One of the largest viewership streams on Twitch had a Somali pirate on his stream and was talking about how great the guy was and how everything he's doing was like peachy keen and wonderful.
So,
see, an act of violence against the government, I think I would say, is war, not necessarily terrorism. If it's against the people, to manipulate the people and the government, then it becomes terrorism. Or just the people, like I said, of a small area.
Those people should be allowed to have a platform to talk. I mean, and you get to learn more about, pirate life.
There's a tiny bit of nuance in it, right? Because
there is.
One of the reasons Somali pirates even exist is that large international shipping people cut through what used to be Somali waters. So they're taking advantage of a failed state. And And
Yeah,
when
that was
on
international
mainstream
waters,
news,
right?
like
Chinese
Russian
sailors are
people
absolute
have
scum.
that big of an
when it
issue
comes
with
to
But does that mean you can't have criminals on Twitch?
The first
The guy said that he was a Houthi.
One at a time. Kane says terrorism. Noun, the unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians in the pursuit of political aims.
Yeah, civilians, specifically to the public.
Now,
So public can mean 20 people.
To the
Jeez,
chat,
Vinny
I did
just
put
shouts all the
one
time.
goal out there, one big fat goal, because we've been going for over 5 hours. So one big fat goal, hit it or we will quit it. I'm okay
Ooh.
with either way. Obviously, we got started very early today, so I'm
That's
still
what Tinder.
bright. I'm still bright and chippery, but it's up to you. I figure we've been having fun with the 10s and 5s, and we had some shutdowns earlier with the hundos.
Hey, I tell you what, guys.
If you really want.
I think I'm going to call this in just a little bit. I guess I'll let it go on for a minute or two, but I'm going to call it, and we'll finish the next part tomorrow. I've been sitting here 2 hours.
Want to keep it going. You really want to keep it going. I'm happy to do it for that one goal. All right, back to you.
And when I say to the
sorry.
when I say to the
said that he
people-
was a Houthi, not Somali, and that would make it very, very different.
I thought I know somebody
Manny,
said he
that's
was a
like that.
Houthi, but like I should say, like I'm not
Well,
sure if
what
he said
difference
he was
would it
one.
make? What difference would it make? It's a global
Big
platform.
one. Are you dead ass?
Yeah.
I'm asking, can someone like a terrorist be on a social platform?
One person's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter. From their perspective,
Erroneous. What I'm saying is, can someone who believes is a terrorist, can they be on a social platform or not?
If it's based in America, they have to abide by the American rules and what the Americans deem. So
Right.
if it's America
Yeah.
deems them a terrorist organization, then the places have a certain liability where they can't allow that. If it was,
Where
I would
is it-
say, like
where
with
is it-
Twitch,
no,
if
no.
it was more hands off, where they didn't have to have so much direct influence in terms of who they ban and who they censor or what have you, they wouldn't have this issue. But considering how much their hands are involved with it, that means that you can argue that they are purposefully allowing this and are, in a
Playing
sense,
favoritism and such.
supports it.
on top of
It
it.
gets
Evan,
tricky
you're
because
wrong.
the ability to send funds and donate to these people, like that's what a lot of Twitch streaming is generating funds. But if you look at all the news stations from like the 2000s eras, they interviewed Al Qaeda. Did they pay Al Qaeda? Like, how did they get the interviews without?
Back then, they
offering-
didn't. They had to do.
Yeah,
it
but
more
that's what I'm.
in
That's
person.
a
like
good-
the biggest difference I see, but it's not really that.
They
You
were
know what
part
I
of
mean?
the government in a sense, or in reality.
Well,
Those
no,
people have
but you
qualifications,
have the
and they
freedom-
actually asked hard-hitting questions. Hassan was like, "Oh, what's your favorite fucking like?" It's like the Nelk Boys
Very
interviewing
true.
fucking.
Yeah.
Which means how they
It's
interview
like,
Putin, you know?
like asking fucking softball questions.
Right.
It's okay. It's one thing. I don't think anyone.
Oh yeah, I'll stop it right about here where she mentions asking softball questions, the media and whatnot. And I don't think it's only the media. I think it's a public, but we'll that's a good point to start from tomorrow. As always, you guys are awesome. Remember, you don't have to be wise. Just don't submit to stupid. Thank you very much and have a good day.
What smells stupid in the air? Never fear, Zazuza is here. It's time to break up the atmosphere. Hang out in your echo chambers. I don't care if I will bring some logic there. What fantasies can we derive? Let's make up things for YouTube viewers is my drive, but my words often divide. Nothing ever makes any sense. Things I can't conceive, though they are based in reality. From my mind, I must hide. It is my specialty. Well, trust me, but I deceive you. You know this, so you what I say must exist. Because the only thing left for you is to face reality. Reality. That this thing might real, so a fantasy I will make up just so I can deal. What can it be that changes all this? I know I will blame the government, but what is this? God or science has tossed in another wrench. Never fear, Sun Tzu is here. It's time to break up the atmosphere. Hang out in your echo chambers. I don't care, but I will bring some logic there. What fantasies can we derive? Let's make up things for YouTube viewers. It's my drive, but my words often divide. Nothing ever makes any sense. Things I can't conceive, though they are based in reality. From my mind, I must hide. It is my specialty. You trust me, but I deceive you. You know this, but for you when I say it must exist, because the only thing left for you is to face reality. It terrifies me that this thing might real. So a fantasy I will make up just so I can deal. What can it be that changes all this? I know I will blame the government, but what is this? God and or science has tossed in another wrench. I just can't accept reality. An explanation I must see. So God has been changed by the authority. This is crazy, yes I know. It is why I run a show. Through all the lies and the bullshit, sometimes just a crazy nitwit. If I need to, I will go. Some think it's disrupting the show. I didn't pick the topic. You just don't like my logic. Never fear, never fear. Flying penguin is here. This might hurt for the truth is near. My tactic might be a little off, but I have a way to get my point across. Sometimes it's better to just give it a simple soft toss. In the dim glow of midnight screens, Zeus the cloud of skepticism keen stares down the rabbit hole, eyes ablaze, where shadows whisper secrets twisted made. They've heard the whispers of lizard kings, flat earth maps, chemtrails hitting wings, but the mind is a fortress, walls of fact, built on broken logic, unyielding pact. Against the tides of misinformation, they stand a lighthouse on jagged shores of quicksand. They'll chalk the stars, debunk the moon's sway. For truth was the compass guiding their way. Informed thought for echo chambers pride. They will Gotham's wrist, a sharp and alive. Conspiracy theorists hurl wild claims, yet our penguin counters with evidence flames. Terrifies them the allure of the fringe, where secret society stands, shadows binge, but they'll sift through data, cross the noise, unmask illusions, expose the decoys. Basements where theorists huddle, they'll emerge a penguin, ready to muddle the murky waters of half-baked tales. With reason's sword, they'll pierce the veils. They'll debate moon landings over coffee cups, while sipping skepticism from truth's chalice. For every YouTube guru peddling lies, they'll pull out research, facts that rise. Never fear, the skeptic penguin might forth with truth by his side. They'll tilt that windmills, cast with memes, their lance logic isn't twist streets. And so our penguin tangles with cognitive dissonance, a want of reason against the time's insistence. For truth, my friend, isn't always feature grand, such a quiet whisper in a noisy land.